there's a habit, or you can even call it a force if you want, in entrepreneurship that is a game changer that helps you get exactly what you want in your business. And it's not what you think, right? So let's get straight into it. It's the force of momentum, which to me is the eighth wonder of the world. It's absolutely crazy. And why is this so important? The reason for this, I love this quote, is I can't teach you to drive a parked car. I can't do that. And that's the truth, is you need to be making mistakes. You need to be in motion before you can get feedback from somebody. So, another great example of this is, like, let's say you're deadlifting. Let's say you're doing a bench press, a deadlift, any exercise motion. You can't get feedback on it until you've actually done the thing. And the coach is like, hey, you did this really good and you didn't do this good, right? So you need to be in motion before you can get feedback, before you can actually just make iterations. And so this is why most coaches and most entrepreneurs in general, when they're in the starting phase of things, they want to plan and information gather and do all these things. And the truth is, you don't need any of that when you're starting out. Most coaches, most entrepreneurs, myself included, when I started this journey, and I still fall into this tendency today, and I have to catch myself, which is we try to plan 60, 70, 80, 90%. The truth is, you need to plan 5% or 10%, and then you need to start taking action, because the action is going to give you feedback. And from that feedback, you're going to be able to iterate, and you're going to be able to find out, this is what worked really well, this is what didn't work so well, and I need to actually change it. Now, why is momentum so freaking powerful? So before you click off this, I'm going to give you some really powerful stuff here in just a few minutes, but this is the same thing that's helped me make thousands of dollars in my coaching business, land $4,000 clients, $6,000 clients. I've also coached outside of my own coaching business. I've coached 500 clients when I was working for an Inc. 2000 coaching company, helping 6-figure, 7-figure entrepreneurs. And this works no matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're an average Joe. This has worked for rabbis. This has worked for single moms. This has worked for for Olympians, people, actors that were on Survivor and other shows, famous people, all the way to the average Joe. So this stuff works. It doesn't matter who you are. And these are deep psychological principles. It doesn't matter who you are. This stuff works for you. It works for anybody. So with that being said, the reason that momentum is so powerful is because the first thing we need is we do need to define a direction. If you're just moving for the sake of moving, it's still better than nothing, but you want to have a general direction. And this is what purpose, direction, whatever you want to call it. I do want to touch on this for a second because I think a lot of people get this mistaken. It's not some amazing purpose or direction that's like absolutely perfect in the distance and you know exactly what it is. The way that I like to think about it is, if you're on the West Coast and you want to go to Miami, you don't need to know the exact path to get to Miami. You just need to know that you need to go east. You're thousands of miles away. You just need to know that you need to go, let's say you're in California. You know that you need to go south and you need to go east. So what's more important is you have that general direction. So you're not going, completely north, or you're not going completely south. You're going east. You want to go to the East Coast, right? So you got to just get moving. And then after you've been traveling for hours or even days, you can reassess and say, okay, I'm here. Oh, okay, I need to go that direction now. I need to course correct a little bit. Some people get hyper fixated on the perfect exact path that you need to take, and that's not really important. The reason is, as you're taking action, as you're building momentum, you're going to start to gain a set of skills that you just can't gain in theory land, in YouTube land, in listening to other people land. You need to have a strategy, but you need to also execute. You need to move forward. You need to take action, and take messy, imperfect action. That's a mantra that I say for myself. That's a mantra that I say for my clients, is taking messy, imperfect action. It takes away the pressure that needs to be perfect, but you get going. And so momentum, the force of momentum starts to open up things in a universe sense that I don't know how to explain. But when you start to take action, aligned action, the universe starts to conspire in your favor. Things start to happen. People start to drop into your lap. Opportunities drop into your lap that just cannot happen otherwise. And I'll give you an example of this in my own life. So I started doing LinkedIn for my business, and I did it for about 2 to 3 months, and it really wasn't panning out, and I thought it wasn't panning out, but I kept taking action. I kept reaching out to people. I kept having conversations with people. And from all this action, LinkedIn didn't work out the way that I thought it was going to work out, but I made a connection through LinkedIn, and this guy ended up helping me in my business tremendously in a way that I absolutely could not have imagined. There's just literally no way that I could have imagined how he was going to help me, because it wasn't even in my purview. He's helping me with AI, just being transparent. And it's just something I didn't even know existed, a tool that I didn't even know existed. And I wouldn't have met him, I wouldn't have stumbled into him if I didn't just take messy action. If I didn't just like, okay, this is the direction that I want to go. So you need to have a direction, you need to have a purpose, you need to have a general direction. But then from there, as you start taking action, the universe just seems to conspire in your favor. When you're working from a place of passion, when you're working from a place of purpose and drivenness, and then you sprinkle on some momentum on top of that, crazy stuff starts to happen. You feel good, you're taking great action, you're connecting with people and opportunities in a way that your mind can't even perceive. And now, whether you want to call this God or the universe or nature, whatever you want to call it, there's some higher divine force that you're tapping into when you're taking aligned action. So this is just, it's such a powerful thing. And I can't tell you how many times this has happened in my life, specifically even in my business, in my relationships. Like, you don't need to know the 15th step, which I used to. It's my, the OCD of like, oh, I need to know this and then this and then this and then this. And I'm going to get a little spiritual or philosophical here for a moment. But for me, I believe in a higher power. I believe in the universe. I believe in some divine consciousness that is guiding me. And it just feels amazing to take action and trust that something higher is guiding you. And little opportunities fall into your lap. People come into your life. I'll give you another example. I joined a call by a gentleman named Joe Hudson. Fantastic, amazing coach. Go look him up. He's just taps into like the deep actual things that are going on in the person's psyche. It's just fundamentally, he's an amazing coach. So go check him out. Okay. So anyway, went to one of his webinars, had no idea why. I just felt called to it. I felt called to him. Saw this woman on there. She opened up, and amazing, beautiful woman, just very beautiful person, just really like vulnerable. And she was talking about her own business. And then I just followed her on IG. I just felt this, again, a gut inclination. I was like, man, she's amazing. I resonate with her so much. And I reached out to her and we had an amazing conversation. And now we have a business partnership because of it. I couldn't have thought of that. It wasn't a thought that came up. It was like, I see Joe Hudson. This resonates with me. I'm going to take action on it. I'm going to go to his seminar. I'm going to go to his online seminar. Okay, this woman resonated with me. Boom, I'm going to reach out. I felt a gut inclination. I felt a connection. Act on it. And like, this is where once you're aligned, once you know what you want, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just know the direction you're going. You're on the West Coast. You know you want to go to Florida. Maybe you don't even know that you want to go to Miami. You just know you want to go to Florida, right? Head in that direction, and then the universe will give you crumbs. It will give you winks. It will give you nods. It will say, go this direction. And they don't always pan out, but you'll learn something. And so this is the power of momentum it's like, this is a philosophical level of momentum. There's a universal force that just works when you take action and you get excited and you get driven by it. So this is your call, that you cannot be taught how to drive a parked car. You must move forward. You must take action. And whether you work with me, whether you work with someone else, whether you don't work with anybody, you cannot be taught by a person or by the universe or by life, whatever you want to call it, unless you're actually moving forward. So this is me, or this is a sign that move forward. Just take the next step. Even if you don't know what step 10 is or 11 or 12 or 15, take the next step. It will show itself. It will reveal itself as you continue to take action. It also feels good. It feels energizing when you're doing something. So if you're a busybody, maybe this doesn't apply to you, but for most coaches, for most entrepreneurs, I would say it's the opposite. They get stuck in perfection paralysis, in imposter syndrome, in caring too much what people think, and caring too much what their friend's mom's sister on Facebook, Jeff, who they haven't talked to in 15 years, is going to care about what they post on Facebook or Instagram. Okay. So most people get paralyzed by these, myself included. When I started in this, I gave way too much of a fuck what people thought. Even now, I still feel that, but I'm able to move forward despite it. So that's another thing that I want to mention is the sensation, the feeling, the fear, whatever, it never goes away. It just goes from like a 90 to maybe a 20, maybe a 30, and that's okay. You don't need to eradicate it. You don't need to eliminate it. That's another misconception I see with a lot of people, myself included as a perfectionist. I'm like, I need to get rid of all these limiting beliefs. I need to get rid of every single limiting belief that I've ever had before I coach, before I take action. That's not true. Anyone who you know, anyone I guarantee you that you look up to that's successful in business, in life, in relationships, in anything, every single one of those people still has imposter syndrome. They still care what people think. They still don't know what to do next. They still feel fear. But the difference is they have one skill. They possess something called courage. And before you click off of this, courage is a love affair with the unknown. It is the ability to step into the unknown. And again, this is kind of where I philosophical aspect is trust that something is guiding you, something higher is guiding you, that you can outsource the details to something higher and just move forward and take the action, and that the universe is conspiring in your favor, that life is conspiring in your favor. Take the next step. You don't need to know 15 steps. Take the next step. You got this.